let's go into our news of the week, which is brought to you by Eagle Mortgage, eaglemortgagecompany.com, where you can go to get that pre-approval letter. It is bonkers and nuts out there, people, if you're trying to buy a house these days. A lot of competition for houses. If you don't have a pre-approval letter or you're paying with cash, good luck. So you want to go talk to Holly and her team there and go through all the things to help you. It doesn't matter whether you're FHA, VA, conventional loan. They'll take good care of you. Refinances to eaglemortgagecompany.com. Well, the big news this week, Trenton, is that Applied Underwriters has announced it will resume construction on its headquarters building in Heartwood Preserve in June. Now, a lot of people in the local real estate community were thinking, I wonder. They were getting a little bit skeptical as to whether it would ever restart.
I thought they were putting all their money in landscaping for the other lots because they're doing all kinds of architectural and beautification of the park, of the drainage system, and Heartwood Preserve, former Boys Town property, and former DeMarco property south of Pacific will be a great place. And it'll take time, and there's some great plans that haven't been announced yet, and there's some buildings that are going up. So, yeah, I'd love to see that crane moving around and that building getting completed.
Well, it's a $200 million project, 260,000 square feet in a 3-story building. Had been stalled out for 8 months. June will make it 9. And now the estimated completion date is sometime in 2023. Campus is being built for about 1,000 employees. And if you drive by it, which construction geeks like I do periodically, you'll notice that all of the parking is being constructed underground. So when the building is completed, it'll be very beautiful because you won't see a sea of cars at any point in time. You'll just see landscaping in the building from the street.
That's a pretty unique amenity for a suburban project. I could see a parking garage. There's talks about some subterranean parking going to happen downtown, but to do it out in West Omaha is not only is it going to be nice, but it's going to be very expensive.
American Airlines has announced that it'll begin daily nonstop service between Omaha Eppley Airport and New York's LaGuardia Airport beginning November 2nd. It looks like the departure from Omaha will be in the morning. Return from New York City will leave there about 7:15, arriving here at 9:41. It'll be a 76-passenger Embraer E-175 aircraft. By the way, American already has, in addition to this new LaGuardia nonstop from Omaha, they have nonstops to Charlotte, Chicago, DFW, LAX, Miami, Philadelphia, and Phoenix Sky Harbor. Now, there are a couple of airlines that were offering nonstops to New York City, one to Newark, one to LaGuardia. I'm not sure if those are still going during the pandemic, but certainly before the pandemic and hopefully after. And this comes on the heel maybe of about, a month ago perhaps, when Allegiant announced an additional nonstop to LAX. So maybe with passenger traffic coming back, hopefully we'll not only get these new ones, but we'll get some of our temporarily dormant nonstops back.
Well, and hopefully New York opens more back up, and there's Broadway shows and all kinds of stuff. And kudos to Omaha for being open and remaining open and addressing the issues.
Boys Town is tearing down its 73-year-old high school to modernize and create a better education experience for its students. In its place, Boys Town will build a 3-story, 110,000 square foot education center. It's a $30 million project for 350 students, completion in 2023.
That's probably a 70-year-old high school. So I think it's time.
I tell you what, there's a lot of talk about Father Flanagan being canonized at some point in time. If he ever becomes a saint, not that we're looking at canonization purely from economic development and tourism perspective, but can you imagine the tourism that Boys Town will get? They'll have to create like the big, what will they call him, like St. Edward Flanagan or something? They'll have to create a big center and all that sort of thing.
Oh, for a second I thought you were saying that they're going to weaponize him and he's going to be named. They're going to build a giant cannon. That's something different, though, right?
Nice try. All right.
I just wrote it. I'm still working on my morning material.
Trenton's got a great sense of humor. He's always making me laugh. He always makes everyone in the office laugh. And one of the funniest guys I know. But even he sometimes
You know,
drops a lead balloon
I
for a
take I
joke.
take comedic risks. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and even when they're live.
At any rate, we've got one more story on the docket there, Trenton. Gretna development. You found a little bit of information about a kind of a retail mixed-use Gretna development happening at Highway 6 and Bryan Street. We have a fairway going there.
Yeah, they should have started construction already. Batiste Development out of Topeka, Kansas. They developed all the Freddy's frozen custard development. They've done a lot of Starbucks. They've done regionally and nationally. They've done some stuff, and they're building this. It's right by the elementary the elementary and the middle school in Gretna, and they're doing work on the infrastructure now. But it looks like there could be an auto parts store. There could be. There should be a Casey's and a Fairway Foods, and they got a room for a few more things. But that corridor, it's up on the Highway 631, which basically 204th Street.
I'll find it interesting to see how long it takes to connect that hub of Gretna development in and around this 8-acre site that you're talking about at Highway 6 and Bryan Street with the Nebraska Crossing, the Interstate 80 interchange. I think it'll fill in pretty fast through there with all the growth we're seeing in the Gretna area.
It already has, and most of the land along that corridor is in developers' hands. And this goes all the way north and to Center Street. You've got 3 huge projects between F Street and Q Street. There's 3 major ones, and there's a mixed use with tons of residential as well.
And that is your News of the Week, brought to you by Eagle Mortgage. You can find Eagle Mortgage at 114th and Davenport or online at eaglemortgagecompany.com.
If you like this video, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And remember, Grow Omaha is not just media. This is a mission. We are trying to build up Omaha and make it an even better place. We can only do that with your help. Share this video with your friends, neighbors, and family.